Ayo! Zahn is on, and here to watch Saints Row 2 review Better Than GTA 4 by FLEEKAZOID. So, yet another FLEEKAZOID video, and kind of doing another Saints Row one at that. This time we're looking at Saints Row 2, arguably the best Saints Row, and that statement there, better than GTA 5. That's a very bold statement. I mean, that's a fair debate, I would say. Because I enjoy both games. It's just a matter of which of those games appeal to you more. That being said, I'm someone that enjoys more up-to-date gameplay. So GTA 4 kind of has Saints Row 2 beat in that. But even if Saints Row 2's gameplay is a little bit on the dated side, it still has those little quirks in it that makes it shine. Maybe not always. Aha. Cool. But it kind of just sheds light on an era that gaming these days just don't really do anymore. Like, I kind of touched on it on the Saints Row reboot video that I watched from FLEEKAZOID. But yeah, just the little details, the random happenings that occurs in the world. You wouldn't need to cause anything for mayhem to happen. But all I can really say is, both games, I love them. They are very near and dear to my heart. They're kind of why I enjoy open world type games like this. Especially if they have a good story. But I'm getting carried away here. I want to see what FLEEKAZOID has to say about this. He says it's better than GTA 4, so let's listen to why. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Do you enjoy the dopamine-filled state called having
Nice.
fun? Would you like to?
Yes.
Our story begins in the ancient year of 2008.
Ancient. Damn.
Bush was president, but not for much longer. Satoshi Nakatomi Tower created Bitcoin, and the world was in economic
Bitcoin.
crisis. But more significant than
Wait, all this happened in 2008? Bruh. I'm feeling old.
all of that, the release of Saints Row 2, baby, hell yeah. Saints Row 2 is a chaotic sandbox ragdoll simulator that's more focused on being fun, rather than making any kind of sense whatsoever.
You know what? That's very true. Like, GTA 4 is comparatively much more grounded in reality in terms of, like, the gameplay and the story. Saints Row has its grounded moments, but it is definitely far more wacky, far more crazy than GTA 4. What? Oh! And I kind of think that's why I'm not too keen on the comparisons, because they kind of go down their own routes. Yes, it's an open world city, and you can cause all sorts of trouble, but they kind of have their own ways of going about it.
A game where everywhere you go, the NPCs are doing something so
Yep.
stupid that they feel like they could almost be real humans. And
Yes, just what I was talking about before.
all the women have humongous personalities. Somehow the
Yeah.
PC port has more bugs than Cyberpunk, and yet is about 20 times more enjoyable to play. Nice.
This might be a hot take, but I actually liked Cyberpunk on release. It was a buggy, hot piece of shit, but I loved it because it was a buggy, hot piece of shit. I mean, obviously, when they fixed the bugs and made the game better, obviously, like, that's just a net positive. But I'm just glad I was able to experience Cyberpunk at its peak bugginess. Obviously, like any normal person, I like when my games are complete. But having bugs here and there that are supposed to be fun, like bugs that are fun, glitches that unintentionally add to the fun factor of the game, are what I live for. Obviously, bugs that are game breaking, or any bugs, glitches, and whatnot that negatively affect the game, whether it's like soft locking your game or making it completely unplayable, obviously, no goes. Not good, very bad.
Said somehow just a second ago, but I know exactly why this port is so buggy. You want to know why? Too bad you don't have a choice. For many years...
Hey, hold on a second. I saw that. It's freaking Cars. Ka-chow! It's Pixar Cars the game. I actually have that.
Look out! Lee Jr. and Hollister did some rubbing, but neither would give an inch.
What? Yay.
Choice. For many years, THQ dominated the shitty game.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. THQ did kind of have the market on that.
For many years, THQ dominated the shitty game market, exploiting children's lack of taste and love for popular franchises like Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob Incredibles, and so on.
Okay, I need to look through this.
For popular franchises like Jimmy...
I had never played a Jimmy Neutron game, but I have seen these covers. Alright, let's see, which SpongeBob games have I played? I have played not that many, but more than I would expect. I played this one a lot. I always played the boat race game.
Texas
Power dash!
And the, like, you kinda ride on a unicycle, and you kinda have to like bump each other off. Like, I know that Lights, Camera, Pants is one of those, like, party games. It's like Mario Party type gameplay. Some of the party games that they have on there are actually low-key fun. And I have played the SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge.
Nobody loves me anymore.
Note, THQ published 19 SpongeBob games from 1991 to 2012. There are 19 main titles in the COD franchise. Just some thought-provoking cosmic knowledge. That's very interesting.
Bob Incredibles and so on, peaking in 2007, raking in a company record of $1 billion in revenue. But then an unspeakable tragedy struck the world. Generation Z, with their Flash and their mobile games.
Yeah.
They said Ratatouille on DS, more like Rat-a-tat-tat. Fuck that. I'm gonna go play Pop Tropica Club.
Pop Tropica. I used to play that shit a lot back in my school days. Fuck, man. Because that was one of the few things that you could play on the school PC that isn't, like, restricted or locked off.
Penguin or Happy Wheels for free. So now with the youth hopping onto free games on the internet and THQ mass producing some of the most mediocre titles we've seen.
Wait, hold on, what did that say? Some were good, many were not. They have published way too many games. Yeah, no, they really have.
For free. So now with the youth hopping onto free games on the internet.
Wait, what was that? What is that game called? I used to play this a lot on my PC. Like I would get on like fucking those gaming websites, like Armor Games and Addicting Games and stuff. And I'd play games like this. Oh my god, what was this called?
And THQ mass producing some of the most mediocre.
I almost want to look through the they had like published
titles we've seen in all of gaming history. The losses began stacking quite large for THQ, eventually surrounding in THQ going tits up in 2013 and selling all their IP to the other, and I use this term very lightly, more competent AAA publishers. Now what is...
Oh yeah, no, you need to put heavy quotes on that, especially these days. I don't know how old this video is, but ugh.
Does all this have to do with Saints Row 2's PC port, you ask? It's a very fair question. When THQ went tits up, they sold Volition to Koch Studios. And somewhere in that barter, the Saints Row 2 source code just up and vanished. Problem was, without this source code, they couldn't update the game. So Volition took it upon themselves to launch a manhunt for this code. They searched tirelessly, day and night in the jungles and in the swamps. And after 6 years, the devs finally found that bastard, saying that they would eventually fix the Saints Row 2 PC port and restore order to the realms.
Volition says a small team is working on the update alongside ongoing development of Saints Row 5. Well, given the Saints Row game that we eventually got, I would say that maybe they should have just not bothered.
Swamps. And after 6 years, the devs finally found that bastard, saying that they would eventually fix the Saints Row 2 PC port and restore order to the realms. After 3.5 years, that has yet to happen. The other reason why it's so buggy is because the PC port was done by CD Projekt.
Ah, CD Projekt.
Starting with the beginning, the first mission. The game begins with you locked up in a prison hospital, a misunderstood entrepreneur locked up unrighteously by the police simply because of the way you look and where you come from.
Come again? Wasn't it the fact that you got blown up and then your face came out different? Listen, that explosion was crazy. In the first game, you could only be a guy. That explosion must have done something, because that explosion can turn you into a woman.
Where you come from. Well, okay. Also the domestic terrorism charges because you executed the mayor, the chief of police, and half of the fucking police force.
Oh yeah, that's why the fucking boat exploded. Well, I mean, you were also a reason for the boat. Like, you were also a target for that boat exploding. But yeah, no, I forgot about that. The fact that, like, the mayor, like, you and the mayor and, like, some of the police were, like, on there, and then the boat exploded. Damn, I need to play this game again, but I feel like I'm never gonna be able to play this game again.
The last game, but I like my version better. Anyways, a man named Carlos then helps you break out through a process of killing countless guards and making it to a boat with a box mag LMG that allows you to blow up.
I swear, whenever I played this game, whenever I got to this part, it always lags. It always lags so hard to the point where it's just like, come on, survive. Xbox survive so that way I can continue playing this game. Goodness gracious.
Countless more. Now let's take a look at the GTA 4 intro. You get off of a boat from the...
Oh, so we doing direct comparisons, huh? Okay.
You get off of a boat from the fictional wasteland of Serbia, then drive around talking to a man named Rome for 10 minutes.
Rome?
What are we doing? You see, that's all narrative. That's all expedition. That's a bunch of bullshit that I don't care about. No, you can call me boomer scum all you want, but what I really care about is having a fun time. And don't
I mean, that's fair. I, for one, don't mind the more, like, chill beginning of Saints Row 4. So, I mean, that's one thing. I also like the chaotic start of Saints Row 2. I just like it when the game does stuff. And as long as I enjoy that stuff, it's fine.
Worry, if you're an Elden Ring player that's unfamiliar with that word, here's a definition so you can follow along. You see, the combat in Saints Row 2 is perfectly optimized by quants to be as chaotic and random as possible to ensure that you're always in the fun zone. Cover system?
Yep,
Never
that's
heard
true.
of her. Dual-wielding two deagles and fluorescent colored clothing is the name of this game. Health bars? Who's that? What do you work for Ubisoft? What are you going on about? As far as guns go, they didn't get too crazy with the weapons yet, but you've still got some of the coolest designs for guns in all of gaming, in my incredibly unbiased opinion.
Oh, the fucking tracking rocket was always one of my favorites. I always did that. Just shoot off into the sky, aim it directly at someone, and it was like, that motherfucker there, I want him gone. And then the rocket just flies at it.
Just look at the Pimp Cane shotgun, for example. It's a pimp...
The Pimp Cane shotgun! I forgot about this! Bro!
Cane and a shotgun. Is your mind not blown?
Bro, I can... Oh, if I ever play Saints Row 2 again, I'm doing a Roman Torchwick run. I swear to God.
Mine is, so is his. Then look at the Annihilator RPG. It's laser guided, so you just shoot this somewhere into the atmosphere, then point it at your target and boom! You see that? You see what I mean? Fun. Oh, I guess you guys already handled this.
Oh yeah, and you can like change your like gang members into like dressing up whatever. And you can make them look like ninjas. I'll probably turn the Saints into like just a gang of ninjas. And then I can just put on like the headband that says HNIC. Head ninja in charge.
Let's get him! Get his ass! Oh, That's great. Oh shit, I already fired that rocket. Even melee
Oh
combat
my.
in Saints Row 2 is fun, which is incredibly rare for a sandbox game because usually hand-to-hand is about as fun as sticking a fork into a wall sign. But in Saints Row 2, you have all kinds of takedown animations thanks to the extremely rare mechanic of interchangeable martial arts styles.
It's such a small thing, and probably to most people, no, they probably wouldn't give a shit about it. But I love the fact that you can like change those little details. Your fighting style. You could even change the way you walk and shit. Yeah, I love those tiny things. They're so like non-consequential. It doesn't matter at the end. But it's just the little things that make it good.
Brotherhood style allows you to become Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The Ronin style allows you to live out your fantasy of becoming Mr. Miyagi. And the Sons of Samedi give you whatever the fuck that is. Now let's talk about the enemy.
Freaking gonna fight like Eddie from Tekken.
AI.
Damn! What happened?
Give you whatever the fuck that is. Now let's talk about the enemy AI. They're out of their goddamn minds, and it's beautiful. These things get into cars and make a point out of attempting vehicular manslaughter. And I'm
These
so trained up
things.
They are out of their goddamn minds, and it's beautiful. These things get into cars and make a point out of attempting vehicular manslaughter. And I'm so trained on other games making the AI pull up and stop the car in front of you so that they can then hop out and fail to kill you that I just stand in front of these AI man cars like a mime thinking that they're gonna stop.
Nope.
But I assure you, stop isn't a word in their programming. They will start a 20-car pileup trying to get at those cheeks of yours if that's what it takes for justice to reign supreme. And God forbid you cross paths with one of these madmen equipped with an RPG. One time I was walking up the stairs of a stronghold to help my brothers in Christ in their time of need, and as soon as I walked in that door...
Whoa!
I'm sorry, GTA who? Now, I could keep regaling you about all my tales from the cold streets of southern Chicago, like the times where
okay. I have, like, put up snippets here and there of, like, my streams, back, like, my old-ass streams back when I played, Saints Row 2. Would that be something that would interest you? Should I, like, bring those back? If I bring those back, I'm, like, gonna, like, edit them down, because it's, like, a full playthrough. Would that be something that interests anyone? That was, like, old me. That was, like, years ago. And honestly, I feel like even going back to that would just be kind of like an experience for me. It would be kind of surreal going back to those old streams to edit them. And just thinking, like, damn. One thing's for sure, the quality is going to be absolute shit. Would it be much simpler to just play through the game again? Like, do a new playthrough, like, as I am now.
AI teammates would get stuck, and when I got near, they would disperse, causing my game to crash. Or how I used to cop car into scaffolding, and it...
Oh, I remember this! Yes, against freaking caught on the scaffolding!
Start violently flipping. Or how occasionally the AI can't figure out how to overcome small barriers, so you have to creatively reposition them. But ultimately, in my time studying the chaos of this sandbox, I have collected so many different stories that I simply don't have the time
the AI.
all of them. Driving in this game is also unsurprisingly pretty wacky. Bugs aside,
what happened?
Tell you all of them. Driving in this game is also unsurprisingly pretty wacky. Bugs aside, even the control scheme is unlike anything you've ever seen. But as a loyal...
That's like my one gripe. I think that's just not really the fault of the game, but just kind of the fault of like inconsistent control schemes. Yeah. Those are very weird controls, especially for the driving.
Driving in this game is also unsurprisingly pretty wacky. Bugs aside, even the control scheme is unlike anything you've ever seen. But as a loyal disciple of the cult, I will forgive them because of this next thing. The radio. The car radio in Saints...
Yes! The radio! Oh my god, the music selection in Saints Row 2 is peak.
Row 2 is God's gift to man. 95.7K rhyme, it's good. Gen X, nice. But 102.4 classic FM, all my homies movies roll deep to Beethoven, then you have the commercials.
If you love human trafficking as much as I do, you're going to need a boat.
If the average Twitter user sat down and listened to these commercials for 5 minutes, they would have a brain hemorrhage and faceplant into their gluten-free, soy-packed bowl of tricks. Activities in Saints Row 2 are also rather godly. To name a few favorites of mine, there's Mayhem, a mini-game where you destroy fences and or innocent human lives to meet a monetary damage goal against the city. There's Insurance Fraud, where you do a little trolling by trying to financially ruin truck drivers. Racing, where you play against mentally challenged robots that can't stop crashing into shit. And that's...
I remember a silly moment happening whenever I did the races, where I would just kind of get stuck upside down, my car explodes, and it's just like, oh, that happened. Don't die! Why?
Not over-exaggerating, by the way. I've seen one of them be 3 seconds away from getting first, and instead they crash into a tree like a dumbass and hand me the dub. And finally, the top dog that I've loved since I was a kid, Demo Derby. Smash and end lives for the entertainment of the masses. Name a more iconic duo. You even get to choose and mod your own car for the said killing, for the said masses. I mean, really, the station wagon's the best option, though, and this is indisputable, so don't even try to dispute this. Because I know what you're thinking. Isn't the muscle car better, faster, stronger? Those are all very astute points, by the way. Counterpoint. I'm standing behind you with a gun.
I didn't really care which vehicle I used. I just made sure that I had fun with it. Ah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Amazing. God. FLEEKAZOID just casually reminding me of the beauty of Saints Row 2. I wish I could go back to those days. I remember I used to play co-op a lot on that too. And I'm just... Now I'm just feeling a little sad now. Damn. Games don't come out like these. Like, games just don't come out like this these days. I mean, for God's sakes, look at freaking what they did to freaking Saints Row later on. We already watched the FLEEKAZOID's video on it, so we already know. Like, damn. One thing's for sure, these recommended videos are pretty interesting. like I'm seeing all types of interesting stuff. Kev DeWitt did some stuff on this. I might have to put this in my watch later list so that way I can watch it later. But yeah. Beautiful. This like perfectly encapsulates like how fun it is to play Saints Row 2. It really does make me want to go back and play Saints Row 2 again though, like for real. Like I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me if anyone even cares. But like genuinely, like, is that even something that would be interesting? I'm not a good streamer. So like that's the problem. I'm not a good streamer. And pre-recording gameplay is a bit difficult on me because it's like I kind of have a hard time figuring out what I want to cut out. Like, do I only want to have the moments, or do I want to like at least leave the story bits if the game is story driven to at least give some context, even if I don't particularly react super strongly at some of those moments. I don't know. Like at least when I edit these reactions, it's like, okay, just do these, just cut these out and focus on these moments. But like when I edit gameplay, it's kind of harder for me to like kind of figure out which ones I want to do, like which moments to keep and which to remove. I don't know. And plus I feel like I procrastinate more when I try to edit gameplay. I already procrastinate a lot whenever I edit reaction videos. Like that's why I'm not gonna do, or that's why I have no plans of doing react streams, because, or streaming like me like going through YouTube and reacting to videos as I do here. Because one, Not really good at the whole streamer thing. I tried streaming before, and let me tell you, I was a different breed back then, and then I got sick, and then I just lost it. And that's why I've kind of sunken back into doing pre-recorded content. But I don't know. But I guess it's also the other thing is that I'm kind of someone when I try to do streams that I kind of need people to bounce off with. If I can bounce off of other people, then it's just like I can thrive. I can yap endlessly. Otherwise, if I'm kind of just left to my own toils, I can talk to myself, but it's just like I kind of just yap onto all sorts of nonsense. But I'm kind of getting sidetracked here. But yeah, great video, FLEEKAZOID. Thank you once again for reminding me of the beauty of Saints Row 2. Kind of wish that I could play the original series again, but as it stands, I could play through Saints Row 2 and the games onward, but the first game, that one's just lost. If I had a way to play that game again, then I would gladly play through the entire Saints Row series from the beginning again, because it has been years since I've played Saints Row. In fact, the stream that I was talking about, like my old ass stream when I played Saints Row 2 back in the day, that was quite literally the last time that I played Saints Row. I mean, it might be comparatively recent, like it might have been like no later than like 5 or so years ago, but like, well, a lot. Yeah, my brain just died all of a sudden. But yeah, no, I think I'm starting to overstay my yapping session. So let's go ahead and end it here. So as always, wonderful video by FLEEKAZOID, and I think that's about it for me. So I will see you in the next video whenever that is. But until then, bye-bye. Ayo. Zahn is on and here because it has been months. It has been months since I have uploaded something. And I'm sure that this is probably going to get tacked on to some random reaction that I'll be uploading after God knows how long I've uploaded the last one. I've just been busy. That's all there is to it. I've just been busy. My work-life balance is horrible, and I am just trying to see about making time for stuff like this again. So I can't really guarantee nothing, because I don't want to muddle down the editing that I've been doing thus far. I know that I've made a small little update at the end of some random reaction before regarding this, but I think I'm gonna take this a little more seriously in the regards that I'm just going to go at a pace that I feel comfortable with. Part of it is just the fact that I just am really bad with motivation. I am not particularly driven, which doesn't really sound great, especially for someone who's trying to do content on the side, you know? But I just feel like I'm trying to use my YouTube as just a way to try and at least get around that. I'm gonna at least try to upload more, or at least try to not make it months long at a time between uploads. That's at least that's at least a start. Let's at least start there. I have some reactions that I still have. Some are pre-recorded and others that I've done through some streams, which that leads me to something else that I feel like I want to at least be able to mention, and I don't really have a place to mention this. So I'm just going to leave this here. I've been thinking of getting back into streaming. I know that in the discussion of this reaction, probably, I have a feeling that this reaction that I'm probably going to tack this on to is the one that has me talking about the fact that I'm not really that great at streaming. To be honest, I still don't consider myself that great at streaming. I don't even really consider myself that great at yapping. Bear with me. When I make these reaction videos, I edit out a lot of stuff. It's not even cut jokes and whatnot. Sometimes it's that. But most of the time, it's just me cutting out me blathering stumbling over my own words, so that way my statements are at least a little more digestible, a little more understandable, a little more cohesive. In fact, I'm pretty sure that just this whole section is probably going to have a whole lot of edits. But yeah. Um, I'm not very confident in my streaming capabilities, but I want to at least try to do some of that again. I used to be better about it before, and I kind of want to see if I can get back to that. But I'm also going to try and stream whatever I want, to be honest. Part of the problem was that I felt like I was trying to stream to cater to something. Like I felt like I felt like I was doing things because I felt like I had to, not because I wanted to. I feel like this time, this go around, I think I'm gonna try and do things at a pace that I feel comfortable with, while also trying to do things that I actually want to do. Which means sometimes it could be gaming. I could be playing a game that I want to play. It might not even be a game that is like streamer friendly. Like it could probably be a very bad game as far as like streaming goes, but I'd probably still want to play it because I like to play it. Other times I could be doing reaction stuff. I still feel more comfortable pre-recording reaction content, but I'm not against the prospect of doing reactions on stream. It's just something to get used to. It's like I'd have to pretend I'm like by myself. And plus, I get distracted very easily. So when people talk to me in chat while I'm trying to react, I do get a little bit distracted and it kind of takes away from the reaction. So if I do that, I'm going to have to be very blunt. I probably will not be doing much interactions until I feel like I'm comfortable enough to juggle that much. Because for God's sakes, I'm already struggling just to speak as is. So I feel like I need to be functional when I'm doing streaming content like that. And I mean, I have a Twitter, I guess, but I barely use it. You could follow it if you want, but it's basically dead anyway. I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll catch me in the wild on Twitter, like tweeting some random thing about this random thing that I'm doing or random thing that I'm looking at. I don't know. I barely use it anyway, and to be honest, I don't really like Twitter anyway, so it's whatever. But it's there, I guess. I mean, it's like I'm plugging the rest of this stuff. I might as well plug that as well. Not much else for me to really say, to be honest. I feel like, as far as updates go, I've gotten out what I wanted to get out, and that's really it, yeah. So hopefully the next time I upload a video, especially on a reaction on this YouTube channel, hopefully it won't be for months after. Either way, I'll see you in the next video whenever that is, but until then, bye-bye.